Hi there, I'm Danny Henderson. Welcome back to my beautiful channel. My friend today is the one and only John White, the inventor of the Spooky 2. Hello, darling, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you, Danny?
Really good. It's good to have you back. We're going to let the audience know that the past broadcast that you and I have done together, highlighting the most incredible, validated, proven, spiritually, scientifically, tools that you bring into the field, were deleted off my channel by the extremely notorious and badly behaved boob tube police and the censoring bots. So we're going to use words like wellness and well-being in place of more, grown-up words, so that we can ideally usurp a level of the policing, and have an adult conversation that's loving and that's for the world at large, to bring them more into the awareness of the beautiful, beautiful materials that you have brought into the field. So let us start with the Spooky 2, and from what you can share. And you're going to bring in some of the spirituality, some of your Buddhist teachings as well. So please, the floor is yours, sir.
Wow, okay, well, it's a big floor. Hello, everybody. It's wonderful to be back in this channel. Um, Apparently, it's for the first time because the other videos have, well, that's the way it is. I mean, George Orwell was just 40 years, a little bit, too early.
Yeah.
Um, but it's actually before we started recording, Danny and I were talking about what happened with the videos. But Dani's an optimist, and she sees that there is a tide of change. And I truly hope, Dani, that you're right. More and more people are becoming aware that they can become well. And you'll be hearing that word quite often during this interview, I guess. Um, it's nice to be well because there's one thing living a long lifetime, but it's another thing having a long health line as well. I don't want to be in a bed for the last years of my life. I'd rather be, you know, I'd rather go quickly while I'm, while I'm still healthy rather than suffer for the last few years. And there's many, many ways that you can achieve that. Um, some of it is through devices that you can buy, like SPOOKY2 devices, and some of it is between your ears, your mind. I've come to realize I've been dealing with wellness type devices. I'm doing well, aren't I?
Doing great work.
For for about 10 years now. And I've come to realize that to overcome wellness issues, probably only about half of the issue can be addressed through devices. Now, I don't want to be doing a sales push on our products. I do believe that our products are the best, but I like to um, move on to other areas and let people decide for themselves. We've certainly got the feedback and all the other people that say, wow, it's great. But anyway, I want to focus on more the spiritual side just right now. Um, I believe that unwellness is usually, if not always, due to something that has happened. I don't believe that something happens without cause. And whether that thing happens depends on both the cause, which is the seed, and the conditions to make that seed sprout. The seed may be things that you have done in the past, and my belief system believes that I believe that the past is previous lives as well as this life. That's the seed. The conditions are what you do now, as well as how strong the seed is. I mean, if you're a mass murderer in past lives, well, you've got no no chance of having a blessed life in this round. But within reason, um, I believe that if you can remove or reduce the conditions that allow that seed of karma to sprout, then you can circumnavigate bad karma. And bad karma, of course, is not being well. I came to this conclusion because I have a huge number of customers who are unwell, and some of them are unwell to the point where they leave this planet in a physical form. And I ask myself, why is it some do and some don't, even if they have the same condition to the same degree? And so I went down the path of really discovery. Part of that process turned me into a Buddhist, and because it explained a lot of things to me. Well, actually, I'm a Christian Buddhist because I've not let go of my my Christianity. Presbyterian by birth. My family, the whole family was Presbyterian, and I went through the rounds of Anglican and Catholicism and things, but I ended up a Christian Buddhist, where Buddhism is more like a scientific approach to what happens in the Bible, and Buddhism actually aligns perfectly with the Bible. People say, well, what about reincarnation? Are we going too far off the track here?
No,
Correct me if
no,
I'm going too far.
no, 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 you do you. I want people to
Okay,
remember who you are and what you do
okay.
and what you bring to the planet. It's very important.
The Bible doesn't mention about reincarnation, but the original books that were among those that were chosen for the Bible did mention reincarnation. But the books that are in the Bible are all written by, white-haired old men, or chosen by white-haired old men to be included within the Bible. There's no woman involved because women are all in the kitchen where they belong, right? And they, in that era, this is what the mindset was. Yeah, you can laugh now. In fact, now it's still kind of the same. You get I mean, some people that really, really, truly believe that women are inferior.
You know,
Oh gosh,
all
but
I say to that is, dude or dudette. You got
yeah.
to look at who are the life bringers, who are the life givers,
Oh,
who
look,
are the ones that literally birth the entire human race. The women, us women, were given
mm,
that honor, not to be at the
mm.
behest or the enslavement of
No,
masculine, for us
no,
to come together. It's very simple. It's very simple.
right,
Not for some people,
right.
clearly, but for us it is.
But when the Bible was being put together, 200 years after Christ left, um, it was old men that decided what was going to go in and go out. So there's no Magdalene book. There's so much missing there that it's embarrassing. All the Psalms are written by men. All got male names, which is a little bit of a clue, really. And one of the books that was also omitted 800 years ago was the one mentioning reincarnation. And so that the Buddhism side of the Christianity part of me kind of filled in some gaps, and then suddenly things did make sense. And actually, within Buddhism, Christ did come. There was a Christ. Of course, there's a Christ. Of course, there's a God. There's a Creator. Of course, that's not what where Buddhism puts the emphasis on, though. But there's certainly no dispute there. And so the biggest worry that I had, like, what is Buddhism praying in front of these funny statues that look like animals, and elephants with four tusks? I mean, all of that is just totally, totally not what it's all about. That's kind of like the distortion of Buddhism, like Christianity. Buddhism was also distorted, and there's four main types of Buddhism now. In Christianity, there's many different types of Christianity. People have their views, and then the views become another line of Christianity, which is crazy. People should go just straight to the original. And if Jesus didn't say it, well, are we going to trust a human? Look at around you. Who do you trust to really say nothing but the truth, unbiased, unbiased. No one, right? And humans are humans, so of course the Bible is going to be distorted. Yeah. So that's where I came to realize that it's really the seeds of the karma that ripened. It can skip a few lifetimes, but when it ripens, it can ripen with a vengeance. And this is why some babies are born with deformities, why some babies are stillborn. They don't make it.
Mm.
They've got that debt to pay.
Well, I got different views on that, but I'm gonna, I understand. I used to think very similar. Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Some of the things. Very, it's a very interesting conversation and subject, people's own belief systems. But a point you made
Yeah.
earlier that was so beautiful was wherever we're at in our own evolution, it doesn't mean that we're more or less evolved than the people that we're looking at or listening to. And that's part of the ego. Well, we got to put our own ego down because I could be wrong. You know what I mean? We could all be wrong. We got to be okay with that. But
That's right.
listening and going through certain belief systems seems to be the way that the world and the individual souls are evolving by finding something they resonate, like for you, more Buddhist, and that
Mm.
information. And there's, as you say, a lot of science in Buddhism, and it's not surprising really that given the spiritual side of you, that you've also this very, very, scientific quantum entanglement, the understanding of discordant cells in one's vessel, one's body, how to align them and harmonize them, which is what you've literally been doing with your beautiful technology, which is
Yeah.
a follow on from Rife, RIF,
Yes.
right?
That's right. That's right. There's been no conflict between my beliefs and what I do in my day job. It's it's parallel to. Um, Now, some people may be thinking, well, I don't believe in what I've just said and this and that. It's okay. We were talking just a little bit earlier about being large enough a person to accept different points of view, um, which is great. I mean, there's no way that we're all going to be in harmony with the same thought patterns. We're all going to vote for different people and believe in different things, and it's great. Um, yeah, it's just this is the way the world should be, right? Where people can disagree, and it might come down to name calling, but it shouldn't come down to real anger.
Right. Or
This
friends breaking up.
intensity.
Yeah, friends breaking up. Or,
Yeah.
I'm in England right now and I was living in America and then I was living in Costa Rica and I was on one of the
Mm.
Hawaiian Islands, which, are 5,000 miles away, 5-hour flight from America. People say it's
Yes.
part of America, but the 50 is
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
But, anyway. And so I've been looking into all these different cultures and the indigenousness of each, country. And
Mm.
it's just quite remarkable how many differences there are, in various thinkings. But the one singular energy or emotion that definitely, and I will say definitely, links the real harmonies of our planet and all of the peoples is love. It's that love, love,
Right.
love, love, love
Right.
energy, isn't it?
Right.
It's the
Right.
most powerful, the most powerful. Do you think that when somebody is in a state of unwellness and they are using one of your devices, do you think that their mindset ideally would be more of a one kind of nestled in the belief that this is going to support and aid them in their recovery?
It is. It's not taking ownership of the unwellness, not allowing it to be part of you. So it's the mentally pushing everything that's negative out of your body. If you can make yourself an empty vessel and fill your vessel with love and compassion, then that's really in a nutshell what I've seen is the difference between people that make it and those who don't. The people, I mean, generally speaking, the people that are that filled with love, they're radiant out, and they do not accept this poison that's inside them. Yeah, that's really the biggest difference I've found I came to in the conclusion I made. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful again because it also gives people that an empowering feeling or a knowingness that hearing a conversation like this, like in their state
Mm.
of physical unwellness or wellness, that using the positive, there's people that going, oh, love and light, whatever that means. It's very much an overused statement. When people say new age, that winds me up because there's no such thing as new age. The things that we talk about are ancient information, but a marketing job was done quite a few hundred years ago. And so in this day and age, we're
Yeah.
asked to, if they make a mockery, like taking all the books out of the Bible that really would have extended the knowledge of humanity, for example, and they try to limit and ridicule, but we don't allow it. Of course, we all are coming together and rising up, and information that you are sharing today, especially in view of the SPOOKY2 beautiful devices that so many people have used. There are countless testimonies online, countless testimonies. And that's not the only product you have, but let's talk a little bit about your coming to London for a beautiful, intimate conference exhibition. And it's on the 26th of May. So it's next week. And it's in
Yes.
London, in the West End, at the Gem Fitzrovia Hotel. Gem, as in gemstone. The Gem Fitzrovia Hotel, 20 to 28 Bolsover Street. We were laughing at that, weren't we? Bolsover Street. We're going to be bowled over at the Gem Fitzrovia Hotel with the inventions of the
Right.
great John White, and the SPOOKY2 team will be there to receive you. Tell us a little bit about it and what people can expect.
Well, we'll be talking about the process of achieving wellness and overcoming unwellness. And of course, we'll be touching on the products that we have, the frequency devices, the laser, cold laser light devices, the pulsed EMF devices. Um, and then we'll be touching on the other part of healing, which is the the positive energy that's inside you that can help you to overcome. It's quite often people become very unwell because they've been given some bad news. It's purely emotional that drags them down. The body isn't just physical. If it was, you and I wouldn't be thinking. We'd be just lumps of meat. But there's so much more to us that science just hasn't managed to fathom, hasn't put a number on, a unit of measure. And a lot of that has to be addressed to get well again. And I'll be covering a lot of those details. We're still creating the presentation and setting things up, so nothing's firm. Um, I had a quick cursory glance at the presentation just before this interview, and there was one thing that was missing. I wanted to have um, a little part of the presentation explaining the ability for frequencies to do much more than just shake things. You can emulate things as well, or you can create things within your body. A very famous French scientist found that he could. He was also a musician, as quite a few scientists are, and he discovered that he could emulate, simulate, or suppress proteins within your body. Now, an awful number of diseases problems, an awful lot of problems in your body, as well as um, I forgot to say the young words, not the adult words, as well as some very very serious ones are caused by proteins. Proteins not doing what they should be doing it in the wrong way. And I know the UK got hit quite hard with mad cow disease, and that is a protein disease.
Mm.
And he found that using music, sitting down on his piano, he came up, he configured things so he could make music that was the music of that protein. In his development, he was working predominantly in plants because even at his time, um, they had the headmasters monitoring what words were spoken, and he didn't want to be under fire. And he did experiments with plants where he found that the plants would grow 3 times faster and produce much nicer, larger fruit. And other people used his research because he alluded to the fact that it's proteins um, to apply it to people. And again, the same was found that very serious conditions could be reduced or eliminated just through music. I mean, this is a piano,
Mhm.
just a piano. So it's not even precise to the frequency. Now, what we have done is the royal we
Mhm.
is refined it. Instead of having to take to the closest note on a keyboard, I've got the precision of countless number of decimal places and created the ability to make music of these healing proteins. And during the presentation, I'll play the lysozyme protein. You'll love the lyso, or you're not going to be there because you're elsewhere in another place. Well, I'll send it to you. It's a lovely musical piece which creates lysozyme within your body. Now,
Mm.
lysozyme, I see some people scratching their heads. Lysozyme is what's in mother's milk, as well as your tears and also in your saliva. When you cut yourself, old mothers tell you, you put your mouth over the cut. The lysozyme that's within your saliva inhibits the bacteria. Mother's milk, it boosts the immune system of newborns right to this time when they become weaned later on. It's a miraculous molecule, which is why, of course, none of the scientists talk about it.
Mhm.
Um, and this, if you're sick with the flu or cold and you don't want to have an antibiotic because it screws up your body, but you want to have something which is healthy for your body, so healthy even babies are on it. You take lysozyme, and a piece of music is the same as lysozyme, and it's in a special sequence, and I'll be playing that over the duration of the, well, not the full duration, but during the
Yeah.
conference, and people will experience that. It's wonderful to know good things about frequencies, and it's also good not to have a closed mind because there's always something that's going to come up and surprises us. Now, the only pulse EMF device that can utilize these frequencies is our MirrorMate Magic Pro, because that is a true analog pulsed EMF, and you can look anywhere else on this planet and you won't find any analog pulsed EMF, at least for home use anyway. And so you can play this audio, and every single cell in your body is getting lysozyme or other protein strings that you can send as well. Some people have hereditary diseases, and the protein is being overexpressed in their body, and you can run this program to inhibit. You can play the audio to inhibit those proteins, as the case may be. It's 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 amazing what you can do, and there's really no limits. But Magic Pro can send it to every single cell in your body without any perturbations, and it's the only machine that can do that. So I'm kind of proud of that.
Yeah, it's incredible. A range of beautiful devices that completely support the living vessel that we're in to gain
Yeah.
maximum wellness. And you've been
Right.
helping so many people come to that understanding for themselves. That again, it's been tricky to share. online, which is why we're doing it here, speaking in more of an infantile manner than we normally would. But in order to keep sending that love out there to the beautiful people that watch, and that themselves are craving and needing, real solid,
Yes.
proven wellness.
Isn't it's sad when there's a huge number of the population that are sick, a huge number, and they're generally sick because everything has got fertilizer to grow, and
Mm,
the fertilizer inhibits some of the trace nutrients into them. So apples, instead of having 2 milligrams of boron per apple, has got next to nothing. And these are on trees, so it's not hydroponics, which is even worse. Um, all your foods that you are eating now that are grown are very different from that was grown 100 years ago. And of course there's going to be sickness, and the real miracle is how people still manage to live their lives. But then when you really look closely, Dani, you'll see that most people are on some form of medication because of the unwellness that's everywhere. And it is sad. But part of the solution is to come up with devices. Part of it is to understand that there's more than just a physical aspect. And the other part is the awareness. If people are aware and, they open their minds. Open minds doesn't mean they've got nothing in their minds. It just means that they're accepting and are willing to look further. We've got channels. Gosh, we've got a meditation channel that we've had our 8th meditation class now. We've got channels for well, just about anything. So we're more than just devices. We are truly about health. And we want people to learn. We want people to spread the news. There are solutions. It doesn't matter what is wrong with you physically. It can be dealt to so you can become well again. There is always an answer. And
yeah.
the answer may not come from someone dressed in white.
Yeah. Yeah. With a metal device around their neck. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and holistic, the natural wellness, well-being of this vessel, which we can definitely influence. And we've been so programmed and brainwashed to look outside and not to take, the truth in that this vessel that we're in, and we're at a point where we can actually now finally prove it to ourselves by using devices
Right,
like this, by treating mind, body, and soul as a beautiful divine unit that
yeah.
we inhabit on
Mm,
the journey. Definitely, definitely.
sure.
So the 26th of May, which is next week, 2024, at the Gem Fitzrovia Hotel, which is in London, West 1, 20 to 28 Bolsover Street. So think of that. It'll be bowled over by Don White and his team from SPOOKY2, coming from China, and Bolsover Street. I want to also invite those of you out there with a bigger platform than mine, which is loads of you, to please invite dear John on your channel. We need to be sharing this great man and supporting the beautiful work that he's doing and putting out into the field of humanity, as we are all rising up in self, in love and support and respect of the beautiful beings that we truly are. John, what would you like to say?
Oh, I'd like to thank you for a start. I mean, gosh. um, yeah, well, thank you for asking on my behalf. I mean, that's lovely. The more people that know or or learn, the better. Um, gosh, yeah. No, I mean you've said the venue. It may be best to uh, book beforehand. There may be limited numbers of seats. You see, Dani. So it may be best to book beforehand and to book. There is a link. Of course, I haven't got it, but in the email there's a link somewhere that was sent out to everyone except me. um, and I guess they knew that I'd be there anyway. But yeah, there's a booking link, so you click on it and then you make a booking. I mean, I guess if someone comes off the street, I mean, we're spooky. We wouldn't push someone away. That's not us. So just ignore what I've just said. But no, we are really looking forward to coming to the UK. We've been to the UK before, and yeah, we want to come again and see everyone and see all our friends. Gosh, it was a long time ago actually. What, 5 years ago? Wow, wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot's
It's
happened in that time.
a lot's happened. The whole world shut down, and then it's kind of rebooted, and now it's faltering along again. Yeah, lots happened in that time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, we're really looking forward to coming to the UK. It really is an exciting time for us. So yeah, I'd love to meet the all our friends and engage with the people because you don't get that online, really, do you?
No, it's not the same. There's nothing like a hug and a hello and look into someone's eyes, like in the moment to moment, and feel their space and feel their.
I know, I know.
It is the
Yeah,
best,
yeah,
definitely. And you guys work so hard and you do so much for charity. And, as a company, your ethics are just so beautiful. And a lot of people could definitely learn, I feel, from the way that you've the brain, the mental, every aspect of Spooky Company, with the Mirror Mate and it's so much there. And people get to try out the devices, won't they?
Oh yes, yes. Well, actually, I don't. I assume that we're taking devices, but I haven't asked the big question. But I mean, I'm sure we will have them there. I mean, it's crazy to go halfway around the world and then, oh, no, we haven't got one with us. I'll just check my pockets. No, uh,
Exactly. Listen, you've got a wonderful team. I can attest to that. They take the best care of you. They will have it handled. You are John.
yeah.
You are the creator, the inventor, the science mind here. So you don't need to, worry about those details because that's why you surround yourself with genius, to create this beautiful
So
um
I can take things
sound.
easy. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm,
brilliant.
yeah,
Well,
we live
John
in.
White, it's so good to see you. I'm so proud of you and the ongoing work, despite all the pushback that you've been receiving. And your heart is beautiful, and your desire for the wellness of humanity is truly inspiring.
Thank you, Danny. Thanks for inviting me back again, and it's been wonderful to catch up with you again. It's sad that we won't be meeting on the day, but hopefully sometime while we're in the UK we can meet up so I can give you the
Yes,
hug and the eye to eye gaze.
yes,
Okay,
absolutely. I would love that. I would love that. Thank you. Thank you for
okay,
thanks for being a friend to the world. And you guys out there, we're going to put the email address here for Spooky2 for John White so you can have a look at all the amazing devices. Of course, we couldn't go into too much detail today due to censorship, but we invite you to go and explore. And if those of you that can be there on May 26th at the Gem Fitzrovia Hotel in London, please, you'd be embraced by the team there indeed. So my name is Danny Henderson. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing time with John White and I. I send you my love from my heart to yours, and we will see you soon.
thank you. Take care. Bye bye.